नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगाविरुद्धाप सिद्धान्तद्वान्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बारसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगावरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देशा सज्जनप्रियः वैष्णवसार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय हेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषै नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतोर्पङ्गुर्ममन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वापदाम्बोजौ राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद्राधाशीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रष्ट्रालिभिस्सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षं वेणुसुनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथः श्रीयस्तुनः तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Dharma Uvacha. Now after Parikshit Maharaj asked Dharma, Bull, what is the cause of your suffering? Now Dharma, he starts speaking. Dharma Uvacha. Etadvaha pandaveyanam yuktam atradhyam vachaha esham guna gane krishna dautya bhagavan kritaha. Dharma says, Etadvaha Pandaveyanam. Vaha Pandaveyanam Yuttam Artabhayam Vachaha. Artha Abhayam Vachaha. Abhayam Vachaha means those words which give fearlessness. For those who are Artha, for those who are suffering, is very much yuktam, suitable for Pandaveyanam, for those who are coming in the Vamsha of Pandavas, descendant of Pandavas. Esham gunagane Krishno dautyado bhagavan kritaha. So, because of being very much attracted to the qualities which they have, especially prema, which they had in the Pandavas had, Krishna engaged in different activities like Dautyadau. Dautya means becoming a messenger, duty, and also he also played dice. Yuta Krida, he also tried dice. With Krishna played dice, performed duties as a messenger and played dice also. So Dharma, he starts speaking that, oh my dear Parikshit, you are Pandaveya, son of Pandava, very much befitting the Pandavas, your words which are giving abhaya. So when you speak something, it should cause fearlessness. You should not be a cause of fear for someone. That's the thing. So read the purport.
Of his real power. The Maharaj said that even the denizens of heaven could not escape his stringent government if they were violators of religious principles. He was not falsely proud, for a devotee of the Lord is equally as powerful as the Lord, or sometimes more powerful by His grace. And any promise made by a devotee, though it may be ordinarily very difficult to fulfill, is properly executed by the grace of the Lord. The Pandavas, by their unalloyed devotional service and full surrender unto the Lord, made it possible for the Lord to become a chariot driver or sometimes their letter messenger. Such duties executed by the Lord for his devotees are always very pleasing to the Lord because the Lord wants to render service to his unalloyed devotee whose life has no other engagement than to serve the Lord with full love and devotion. Maharaj Parikshit, grandson of Arjuna, the celebrated friendly servitor of the Lord, was a pure devotee of the Lord like his grandfather, and therefore the Lord was always with him, even from the time when he was helplessly lying in the womb of his mother and was attacked by a blazing Brahmastra, weapon of Ashwatthama. A devotee is always under the protection of the Lord, and therefore the assurance of protection by Maharaj Parikshit could never be without meaning. The personality of religion accepted this fact and thus thanked the king for his being true to his exalted position.
So somebody born in a very great family should represent the traditions of the family, should not be a cause of misfortune or infamy for the family. So this is recognized since you are the descendant of Pandava. You have spoken the words which are befitting for the Pandavas or for your Kula. And as much as Krishna loved the Pandavas because of their affection for Krishna, in the same way you also have the same qualities of the Pandavas. That is why Krishna loves you and he is also controlled by you as much as he was controlled by the Pandavas. न वयं क्लेशबीजानि यथा स्युः पुरुषर्षभा पुरुषं तं विजानीनो वाक्यभेदविमोहिता. Parikshit asked one question. What is the cause of your suffering? Who is the cause of your suffering? Then Na vayam klesha bijani yathasyu purusharshava. I don't know the cause of suffering. Now, Parikshit Maharaj told the bull, Dharma, why are you hiding? You know very well who is the cause of suffering. You see this person may stand in front of you and beating you. Then, I am seeing this person who is beating me and he is causing me the pain. But if I don't have the seed of suffering in me, even though he may cause suffering, I will not suffer. That is why na vayam klesha bijami yathasyu purusharshabha purusham tam vijaniyo vakya veda vimohitaha. True. For example, two people go and both are insulted. One suffers, one doesn't suffer. Why? Two people go on some roadside and eat some thing on the roadside, say some Chinese or bel puri or something like that. One falls sick, other doesn't fall sick. Okay, immunity, karma, many reasons, isn't it? Huh? The cause of suffering has got many reasons. The bull is telling, for anybody to suffer, the first reason somebody may say is that, somebody should say, Klesha Bijani. I have Klesha Bija, then only I suffer. Even though other person may give me suffering, but I will suffer only when I have klesha bija. If I don't have klesha bija, I don't have suffering. Huh? Number one, yes. Yeah, in one sense, karma, prarabdha. Yathasyu purusharshava, purusham tam vijaniyo vakya veda vimohitaha. Then I don't know who is the cause of that klesha bija. Suffering is not because of the person. Suffering is because of the klesha. And who is that person who has actually the cause of klesha bija? You see, dharma, don't try to fool me. You know very well, because you are dharma, you know the scriptures very well. Then the dharma, the bull says, Purusham tam vijanimo. Purusham tam vijanimo vakya veda vimohitaha. Different philosophers talk different things about this subject. What is the cause of? Many people talk different causes of suffering, isn't it? If you go to the Gita, Bhikshu Gita, in the 11th canto, you have Bhikshu Gita. Heard about the Bhikshu Gita? Take that Bhikshu Gita. Nayam jano me sukha dukkha bhajam sukha dukkha heto nakar managraha. All these verses there. Open that verse. Mana param hi karanam. Mana hi param karanam. 11th canto. Which chapter? 30? 23rd chapter. 42. So he starts singing this verse, this Bhikshu Gita, saying that, oh, people think that this person is the cause of suffering, this person is the cause of suffering. Nayam janaha, ne sukha dukkha hetoho. What is not the reason? Na deva, na graha, na karma, kalaha. But what is the karana? Manaheva. Mind is the cause. Now, that is a jnana. When it comes to bhakti, pure devotional service, the explanation given by the devotees about the root cause of problem, root cause of my suffering, is Krishna himself, because he is the cause of all causes. So read the purport. Krishna is the cause of all causes is being described in the next verse. He says that even the scriptures, Hare Krishna, Aye Prajaye. So we welcome, हम स्वागत करते हैं बलवंत आयल जी हैं, हमारे वापी मंदिर के कमेटी के चेयरमैन हैं. एक बार हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के द्वारा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. He is doing lot of hard work to build a temple in Vapi. So बहुत अच्छा है. आगे मैं मिलता हूँ आपको 4:30 बजे. अब है ना 4:30 बजे है ना, दर्शन करके फिर आरती करके प्रसादम का हो ले लिया. ओह वेरी गुड. मिलते हैं 4:30 बजे. So the scriptures talk about different reasons. Many people talk about different reasons, but ultimate reason is Krishna. That is what is established in this particular section in these two verses. Read the purport.
There are many theoretical philosophers in the world who put forward their own theories of cause and effect, especially about the cause of suffering and its effect on different living beings. Generally, there are 6 great philosophers: Kanada, the author of Vaiseshika philosophy; Gautama, the author of logic; Patanjali, the author of mystic yoga; Kapila, the author of Sankhya philosophy; Jaimini, the author of Karma Mimamsa; and Vyasdev, the author of Vedanta Darshan.
So you have 6 philosophers, philosophies. What are they? Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamamsa and Uttarvamamsa. These are the 6 philosophies. And these 6 philosophers, they have propounded 6 systems of philosophy, which talks about the source of everything. So Nyayas, they say source is atom. Vaisheshika, the source is the combination of atoms. Sankhya, they say material nature is the source. Yoga, they say the universal consciousness is the source. And Jaimini, the Purvamamsakas, they say that the karma is the source of everything. And ultimately, you have Vedanta who says Brahman, Supreme Lord Krishna, is the source of everything. Yeah, read.
Although the bull or the personality of religion and the cow, the personality of the earth, knew perfectly well that the personality of Kali was the direct cause of their suffering. Still, as devotees of the Lord, they knew well also that without the sanction of the Lord, no one could inflict trouble upon them. According to the Padma Purana, our present trouble is due to the fructifying of seedling sins. But even those seedling sins also gradually fade away by execution of pure devotional service. Thus, even if the devotees see the mischief mongers, they do not accuse them for the sufferings inflicted. They take it for granted that the mischief monger is made to act by some indirect cause, and therefore they tolerate the suffering, thinking them to be God given in small dosage, for otherwise the sufferings should have been greater. Maharaj Parikshit wanted to get a statement of accusation against the direct mischief monger, but they declined to give it on the above mentioned grounds. Speculative philosophers, however, do not recognize the sanction of the Lord. They try to find out the cause of sufferings in their own way, as will be described in the following verses. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, such speculators are themselves bewildered, and thus they cannot know that the ultimate cause of all causes is the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead.
So, Vijanemo Vyakyaveda Vimohitaha. Vakyabeda Vimohitaha, because of their bewilderment, they don't know the cause of suffering, the cause of anything. They land up into different philosophies. And what are those different philosophies which talk about different causes of suffering? That is explained in the next verse. Kechit vikalpa vasana ahuratmanamatmana daiva manye pare karma sabhavam apare prabhum. So some people, yeah.
Prabhu, this seeing ultimately sanction of Lord, and if we see some mischief monger, then it is written they do not accuse them for the. So does this thing happen just at the level of Uttam Adhikari or the topmost devotees, or a devotee at whatever level he is, he should practice it?
Who is stopping you from becoming Uttama Adhikari? First point is that. So, when you start practicing sadhana bhakti, at that very moment itself, what happens is kleshagni. You experience the suffering, but you are not affected by it. You are seeing this person is harming you, and you feel the pain also. At the same time, you will not be affected by it because of your sadhana. You get that understanding. Ultimately, Krishna is the cause. So, adhikari is based on two factors. One is jnana, other one is shraddha. If you see from the shraddha point of view, those who have that great faith, that Shastri Shraddha, that Krishna is the ultimate cause, they are not disturbed. Those who don't have that kind of faith, they are disturbed. That is the difference. Kanishtadhikari knows, Uttamadhikari knows, and Madhyamadhikari also knows. But being disturbed, Kanishtadhikari will become disturbed because of lack of Komar Shraddha. Madhyamadhikari will be disturbed, but he will recover. Uttamadhikari is undisturbed. Okay? That's how you should think. But the principle is the same, because Adhikari means you are practicing pure devotional service. When you say Adhikari, you are within the framework of pure devotional service. Okay? Now, 19th verse. Swabhavam apare prabhum. Apare. Some people, they say Swabhava is the cause of problem. Swabhava. Those people who say Swabhava is the cause of all the problems, they are known as the Nyayikas. Nyaya Vaisheshika philosophy. The Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas, they talks about Swabhavavadis, Buddhist. They are Swabhavavadis. Those who say, it's a Swabhava, it's a Swabhava, it's a Swabhava. That is why suffering. We are all suffering because of Swabhava. And Swabhava cannot be the ultimate cause of suffering. And because according to Nyaya Vaisheshika, Swabhava is actually manifest out of matter, interaction of atoms. You need to have some understanding of Nyaya Vaisheshikas, who are Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas, what is the difference, and who are Buddhists and the Jains, to get idea what exactly it is. But essentially, they are known as Swabhavavadis. For them, everything is mind. For them, soul is the mind. Same philosophy. Just replace the soul with the mind. Oh, that is Buddhist. Manomaya, mental speculation. They're all Manomaya people. Just mental speculation. Whatever comes to the mind, that is reality for them. And they say the mind changes, the reality changes. There is ever-changing reality for them. Until unless you destroy the mind, so that becomes Shunya. So we'll not go into Buddhism, the four kinds of Buddhism, Lokayata, Vaibhashya, the Swabhava. And now there are some people who say that the problem is karma, daivam manye apare karma, apare karma. There are some people who say karma is everything. Who are those people who say karma is everything? Karma Mimamsikas, Jaimini. That is why if you go to an astrologer, it would say you are suffering because of this graha, this planet. So you have to wear this anguta. In this unguli you have to put this thing, that thing, you have to do this thing. It goes on talking about different planetary systems. And then they say that because of your karma, this is happening. This is because of your karma. And some who are another part of the karma mimamsis, they say, oh, it is all the devatas. So, one who profess you karma kanda, some profess upasana kanda. These are the two surupas of the karma mimamsis. The karma mimamsis, either they talk about practice of karma to nullify for a prayaschitta for your sins and problems. And some you say upasana of devatas. So some say devatas. These two are actually in one sense the karma mimamsis. And there are some who say that Atmanam Atmanaha. Hey, the cause of problem is Atma. Atmanam Atmanaha. Mind is the cause of your problem. The Krishna also says, what does he say? Bandhuratman Atmanastasya Enatmaiva Atmana Jitaha Anatmanasa Shatrutte Vartedatmaiva Shatrutte Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Mind is your friend, mind is your enemy. The same mind, if it's controlled, it is your friend and gives you happiness. The same mind, if it is uncontrolled, is your enemy. So it gives you misery. And of course, this is another meaning, that is, those who say that the Supreme Lord and Atmanam Atmanaha, these two are one and the same. So that is a cause of suffering. Atma is a cause of suffering. That means you think that you are independent soul, separate from God. When you forget that you are God, that is the cause of your suffering. There are some who say that, because these are the points which are spoken here. Ahur atmanam atmanaha kechit vikalpavasana. Kechit, there are some people who say vikalpavasana. Those who are trying to do yoga. Yoga chittavritti nirodha. All your problems are because of chittavritti. So stop your chittavritti. It is like saying all the problems for you is because of your wife. Get rid of your wife, no problem. So all the problem is because you got hurt in the hand, and the problem is hand, so you cut off the hand. So the problem is in the body. So you want to get rid of problem, what you should do? Get rid of the body. So you are the problem for the temple. So what we should do? Kick him out. So the same formula applies to you also. Somebody will say you are the problem, so get out. Who will be there? Only Krishna will be there. So even he'll also go. Nobody says that's my problem, so I'll also go. So everybody goes. That leads to Shunyavad. So in this way, people are talking different levels of problems, but none of these are actual truth. Read the purport.
As referred to above, philosophers like Gemini and his followers established that fruitive activity is the root cause of all distress and happiness, and that even if there is a superior authority, some superhuman powerful god or gods, he or they are also under the influence of fruitive activity, because they reward result according to one's action. They say that action is not independent because action is performed by some performer. Therefore, the performer himself is the cause of his own happiness or distress. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.5, also it is confirmed that by one's mind, freed from material affection, one can deliver himself from the sufferings of material pangs. So one should not entangle oneself in matter by the mind's material affections. Thus one's own mind is one's friend or enemy in one's material happiness and distress. Atheistic materialistic Sankhyites conclude that material nature is the cause of all causes. According to them, combinations of material elements are the causes of material happiness and distress, and disintegration of matter is the cause of freedom from. Gautama and Kannada find that atomic combination is the cause of everything, and impersonalists like Ashtavakra discover that the spiritual effulgence of Brahman is the cause of all.
Now you got it. There's Gemini and all these different philosophers. They talk about different causes. Ultimately, Krishna is ultimate cause of everything. No. Next, 20th verse. Aprakratyad anirdeshyat iti ksheva api nischaya tar anurupam rajarshe vimrishya swamanishaya. Now, apratarkad tarkyad anirdeshyat iti keshu api nischayah. Now, what is the meaning of apratarkyat? Tarka means what? Logic. And it is beyond logic and reason to find out what is the cause. Who is the cause? Anirdeshyat. Even if you search for it, you cannot see. It is not viewable. Beyond your thinking. Iti keshu, some people say, api nischayah. Some people say it is beyond reason, beyond logic, all these things people say. And there some have concluded. Anurupam, Rajarshe, Vimrishya. But some people have concluded it. O Raja, O my dear king, Rajarshe, you come to a conclusion by yourself. Swa Manishaya, by the power of intelligence, you come to a conclusion by yourself. I will not tell. Though many philosophers have told so many different reasons, but some of them have concluded that has to be accepted.
The Vaishnavites, the devotees of the Lord, do believe, as above explained, that nothing can take place without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Director, for he confirms in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15 that he, as all-pervading Paramatma, stays in everyone's heart and keeps vigilance over all actions and witnesses all activities. The argument of the atheist that one cannot be punished for one's misdeed unless proved before a qualified justice is refuted herein. For we accept the perpetual witness and constant companion of the living being. A living being may forget all that he might have done in his past or present life, but one must know that in the same tree of a material body, the individual soul and the supreme soul as Paramatma are sitting like two birds. One of them, the living being, is enjoying the fruits of tree, whereas the supreme being is being to witness the activities. Therefore, the Paramatma feature, the supreme soul, is actually the witness of all activities of the living being, and only by his direction can the living being remember or forget what he might have done in the past. He is, therefore, both the all-pervading impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma in everyone's heart. He is the knower of all past, present and future, and nothing can be concealed from him. The devotees know this truth, and therefore they discharge their duties sincerely, without being overly anxious for rewards. Besides that, one cannot estimate the Lord's reaction, either by speculation or by scholarship. Why does he put some into difficulty and not others? He is the supreme knower of the Vedic knowledge, and thus he is the factual Vedantist. At the same time, he is the compiler of the Vedanta. No one is independent of him, and everyone is engaged in his service in different ways. In the conditioned state, such service are rendered by living being under force of the material nature, whereas in the liberated state, the living being is helped by the spiritual nature in voluntarily loving service of the Lord. There is no incongruity or inbrity in his actions. All are on the path of absolute truth. Bhishma Dev correctly estimated the inconceivable action of the Lord. The conclusion is, therefore, that the suffering of a representative of the religion and the representative of the earth, as present before Maharaj Parikshit, were planned to prove that Maharaj Parikshit was the ideal executive head, because he knew well how to give protection to the cows, the earth and the Brahmanas, religious principle, the two pillars of the spiritual advancement. Everyone is under the full control of the Lord. He is quite correct in his action when he desires something to be done by someone, irrespective of the consideration of the particular case. Maharaj Parikshit was thus put to test for his greatness. Now let us see how he solved it by his sagacious mind.
So, Krishna, the Lord, is ultimate cause of everything. Because he says in the Bhagavad Gita that Sukam Dukkam Bhavo Bhavo Bhayam Cha Bhayameva Cha Himsa Samata Tushtis Tapodanam Yasho Yasha Bhavanti Bhavabhutanam Matta Yevahi Pratak Vida. Matta Yevahi Pratak Vida. From me everything comes. Sukam Dukkam, everything. Now, if you say Krishna is the cause of the happiness and distress, you will find there is one a demonic kind of person who is very happy, and you find a devotee suffering. How is that the Lord is the cause of happiness and misery? He is giving happiness to the demon and he is giving misery to a devotee. All the devotees practically, how much misery is Prahlad experienced, how much miseries Pandavas experienced. What to speak, his own brothers, 6 brothers were killed by Kamsa. Krishna did not come and save them. Huh? So somebody may ask a question in this way that, why is it so? He gives happiness to someone, he gives misery to someone. Is it that he likes someone and he dislikes someone? Okay, he may have dislikes and dislikes. How can he give suffering to somebody who is in love with him? Gopis suffered, the Pandavas suffered. So much of suffering is there. Yes, that is why Krishna is aparadik, tarkyat, is beyond tarka. Don't ask questions about him. Don't talk about him, because if you talk more about him, what will happen? You will be confused. One devotee asked me, Prabhuji, so much of confusion in your movement. I told you, yeah, that means you are Krishna conscious. That means you are inquiring more and more about Krishna. After reading Bhagavad Gita, if you are not confused, you are not read it. Once I did a Bhakti Shastri course. After the class, one devotee came and told me, Prabhuji, I thought I know Bhagavad Gita. After hearing your class, I lost my confidence. That means actually you are not read. The more you try to know about Krishna, the more you become bewildered. That is the nature of Krishna. That is the nature of Krishna consciousness. Bewilderment is the nature of Krishna consciousness. That is what Bhishma says. Like Prabhupada says in the purport, what does Bhishma say? The Lord is, Bhishma correctly estimated the inconceivable action of the Lord. The conclusion is therefore the suffering of a representative religion and representative worth at present before Mahatma was planned to prove that Maharaj Parikshit was ideal executive head because he knew well how to give protection to cow. So it is the will of the Lord which happened. Suffering of the devotee is actually the will of the Lord to show the greatness of the devotees, and also an opportunity for other devotees like kings like Parikshit Maharaj to show his greatness. Because whatever Krishna does, it is for increasing the fame of his devotees. The Bhishma started thinking why the Pandavas suffered. He gives so many reasons similarly. Maybe Kala, maybe Karma. Ultimately he says, oh Lord, it is because of you only. And then he says that, hey Yudhishthir, Nayyasya Kaschid Rajan, hey Yudhishthir, just see, Puman Veda Vinishchitam, Viditsitam. Puman Veda, nobody can know him. Na Veda, in spite of all your inquiry, nobody can know him. Yad vijiknyasya yuktya, if somebody goes on deeply inquiring more and more about him, muhyanti kavayopi. Even great kavayaha, great learned people, they are also muhyanti, they are also bewildered. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
this very amazing discussion about who is the cause of the suffering. So, devotees, when they see Krishna as the ultimate sanctioner and is the ultimate cause of the suffering, so the immediate cause has to be rectified or not then? Because there is immediate cause, remote cause as we hear, and Krishna is the ultimate cause. It's like the engine. And then the immediate cause is the 12th and the 11th bogie of the train. There is some confusion there. There is some connection problem.
Yeah.
So if there is a connection problem between 12th and the 11th bogie, we can't say that the engine is the cause, because we
Very
have
good.
not.
Now what did Parikshit Maharaj do? He spoke to Krishna, hey Krishna, hey, why is it that you are giving suffering to them? I am not going to kill Kali. Or did you do that? No. So you should treat the immediate cause also with the understanding that the ultimate cause is behind it. Isn't it? You should treat the immediate cause also with the understanding, the proper understanding of the ultimate cause. So in Ayurveda, you have, for example, you are sick, you are not well. Now, the ultimate cause is the disbalance of the, according to Ayurveda, of the Kapha Pitta Vata. So, the medicine should be given for that. At the same time, some relief medicines are also given. You getting the point? Knowing well the ultimate cause. If you only give relief medicine, you will relieve it, again it will come. That is called allopathy. Ayurveda means what? In the same way, Vaishnava, Parikshit Maharaj is Vaishnava. So, oh, I know Krishna is the cause, let Krishna come and do his work. So, understanding that Krishna is the ultimate cause, Parikshit Maharaj understood why Krishna did it, because he wants me, he wants to give me an opportunity to serve him through the protection of. So then Ahankara is not there. It is not me who has protected. Krishna protected them through me and he gave an opportunity. You getting the point? So, activity done by Vaishnava and other person may be same, but the consciousness will be totally different. So you say cow protection. When Vaishnava does cow protection, the consciousness behind it will be different. Same. Then activity is the same, protection, consciousness different. That's called Vaishnava. One who is Krishna conscious even while fighting. Duryodhana also fought, Arjuna also fought. But Arjuna fought for Krishna, Duryodhana fought for his own pleasure. Consciousness was different. So in this way, the cause is not anything, neither the planets, no, it's not karma, it's not anything. The cause is ultimately Krishna. So, why Krishna put devotees in a difficulty? Only Krishna knows. The more you inquire about it, the more you become bewildered. Got it? Yes.
Prabhu, we were reading in that 11th canto shloka that mind is the param karan.
Yes.
So that conclusion is not
Wrong
right?
or is it wrong or right? That is why I told in the beginning itself. That conclusion is right to the extent of Jnana Mishra Bhakti, where the aspect of the Lord also comes, because ultimately it says Nishaiva Eva. Tamo. What is that verse? Etam sastaya paratmanishta aham tarishyami durantaparam mukunda tamo mukunda nishaiva eva. So he talks about that, but that is Jnana Mishra Bhakti there. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti. So when you talk about pure devotional service, you realize that it is Krishna is the ultimate cause. Okay?
Also, like Prabhu, just now you were telling about how Parikshit Maharaj got saved from the ahankar, that, and he understood it in this way that it's through bull that Krishna is giving me this opportunity to serve him. But then one he could think also like that Krishna chose him out of all the living beings to serve in this way.
Yeah.
So that how can he get rid of that false ego?
That is the real false ego. It is by the mercy of Krishna that he has chosen me out of his causeless mercy. That ego is good. And he is getting the work done through me. That is his causeless mercy, though I am not qualified. Then Rajo Vacha. King is speaking, Parikshit. Dharmam praveshid dharmagnya dharmosi vrisharupatrik yad adharma kritas thanam suchak asyapi tad bhaved. Dharmam bhavishi dharmagnya. What you spoke is dharma. You are the knower of dharma, dharmagya. What is that dharma? You did not tell who is the immediate cause of your problem. You did not say, hey, he's the cause, he's killing me, he's beating me. You did not say that. That is dharma. Huh? Now, you know the principle. What is the principle? You are dharma, dharmo asi. You are dharma. Your dharma, Bhavishi, you spoke dharma. You know dharma. What to speak of you knowing dharma? You are dharma. But you are in the form of a vrisha rupa drik. You are seen as a vrisha, means you are seen as a bull. Now, yed adharma kritaha sthanam suchaka syapi tad bhavet. See the wording here. सूचकस्यापि अधर्म सूचकस्यापि तद भवेत. Tad means adharma bhavet. Adharma will result in. Showing who is adharmic is also adharma. You are the form of the bull, you know the path of religion, you are speaking on religious principles, that destination intended for the perpetrator of religious acts is also intended for one who identifies ye chor hai. The destination of the chor is destined for the person who showed that you are the chor. You show one finger, 3 fingers are with you. Suchakasyapi tad bhavet. Suchakasyapi tad bhavet. So this complaint tad bhavet. If somebody has done some crime, if you just point out he has done the crime, whatever is the result for the criminal, you also attain the same result. Dangerous verse, isn't it? Nobody will be a police. Nobody will be a lawyer. Suchakasyapi tad bhave. Now you could have told directly, he is killing me. You should have told me that this person has bet me. You did not say so. The person who points out a sinner also goes to the same place as a sinner. And you are dharma yourself. You did not do that. You did not complain. What a great consciousness. Read the purport.
A devotee's conclusion is that no one is directly responsible for being a benefactor or mischief monger without the sanction of the Lord. Therefore, he does not consider anyone to be directly responsible for such action. But in both the cases, he takes it for granted that either benefit or loss is God sent, and thus it is his grace. In case of benefit, no one will deny that it is God sent. But in case of loss or reverses, one becomes doubtful about how the Lord could be so unkind to his devotee as to put him in great difficulty. Jesus Christ was seemingly put into such great difficulty, being crucified by the ignorant, but he was never angry at the mischief mongers. That is the way of accepting a thing, either favorable or unfavorable. Thus, for a devotee, the identifier is equally a sinner like the mischief monger. By God's grace, the devotee tolerates all reverses. Maharaj Parikshit observed this, and therefore he could understand that the bull was no other than the personality of religion himself. In other words, a devotee has no suffering at all, because so-called suffering is also God's grace for a devotee who sees God in everything. The cow and bull never placed any complaint before the king for being tortured by the personality of Kali, although everyone lodges such complaints before the state authorities. The extraordinary behavior of the bull made the king conclude that the bull was certainly the personality of religion, for no one else could understand the finer intricacies of the codes of religion.
Very powerful purport, very powerful words. Yes. Yeah.
The concept which is told here, the principle is told here, it is for oneself, as the dharma is saying, not for the other person. Something has been done to him and then we are supposed to do something like that, correct?
Yeah. If you understood like that, that is your service. That somebody has done something wrong, you should say he has done something wrong. That person, for him, that is why, for his own sake, the devotee is willing to tolerate. When it comes to somebody else, he becomes very bold. Christ. Next. Yeah. Yeah, that is what I told. Practical application is that when some injustice happen to you, don't try to seek out justice. Waste your time. If you want to waste your time, apply in the court. Put a court case. If you want to waste your time, go and complain that he is doing like this to me, he is doing like this to me. Waste your time. Other person will come and say, call both of you, what happened, and complicate things, it goes on wasting time. Just go ahead. That's all. Yeah. Don't complain. If you complain, they'll take advantage of you, exploit you. No complaints, no exploitation. Don't worry, I am there with you. Na? I'll see to it. But मेरा काम भी कर देना, ठीक है? So it comes to me, you should also tell the same thing to me. Then we'll have our. If you don't do that, I have done so much for you, not done so much for me. So all these things happen. So never get into complaint mode. ठीक है. Somebody says, they have done so much injustice for you, we'll support you, do this thing. Keep quiet and avoid. Just keep quiet. Okay, Bull is teaching all these things to us. Athava deva mayaya munam gate ragochara eto vajastrapi bhutanam iti nischayah. Bhutanam iti nischayah. Athava deva mayaya munam gatir agochara. It is certain, atha eva mayam nunam gatit agochara. That is concluded. Athava deva mayaya, the Lord's energies are agochara, are inconceivable. Gati, nunam gati, agochara. And chetaso vachasaschapi, by our cheta, by our mind, or by vacha, by our words. Bhutanam iti nischyaha, you cannot ascertain the Lord. And his act, diction, avang managochara. You cannot say by your mind, by your words, and establish this is Krishna. The moment you say this is Krishna, he will do something else. Then he says, oh no, now I know this is what it is. He takes different forms. That's how he's always bewildering. The Veda says that yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. I'll tell you who is Krishna. Then you start describing about him. The words go high and then come back and then tell you, we did not find such a person. Then you think, no, let me think about Krishna and let my thoughts go. The thoughts go, manasa saha, the thoughts go high up and then come back. Aprapya, we did not find. So in one sense, actually, Krishna is indescribable, is inconceivable. Then if he is indescribable, why are you describing? Why Vedas are describing, Puranas are describing, why are you taking a class for us? Yes, he is indescribable. That is what is being described. So you described Krishna that he is indescribable. You think about Krishna to understand that is inconceivable. Whatever you express about Krishna, you think about Krishna, you think about his inconceivability, you describe his inexpressibility. You cannot express him by words and means. So one devotee, Parashara Bhatta, heard about him anytime? How many of you heard about Parashara Bhatta? Very good. After Ramanuja, Parashara became the. He wrote one book called Sri Ranga Rajastava, which describes about Sri Rangam. So while describing, then he says that, O Lord, that I cannot describe you, you are indescribable. Then the Lord says, why are you describing me then? Actually, whatever I describe, whatever I talk about you, is not your actually glories. By me speaking about your glories, it is actually malini kuroti. I am making you dirty. By saying Krishna's eyes are like lotus, are you glorifying Krishna or are you degrading Krishna? Nobody is speaking anything. How many of you say we are degrading Krishna by saying? How many of you say we are saying glorifying Krishna by saying Krishna's eyes are transcendental? And you say Krishna's, your eyes are like lotus. It is like not even stool of Krishna. Krishna's stool is more transcendental than the lotus of this world. So by comparing Krishna's eyes to lotus, actually you're degrading him. The bhava is expressed by malini karoti. So then Krishna says, if you are actually making me dirty by your glorifying, why are you glorifying? Then he says, I cannot stay without glorifying you. That means you cannot stay without dirtying me. Yes. What is this? Yes, you are like mother, I am like a baby in the lap of the mother. What does the mother do? What does the baby do? Brings the milk from the mother and passes stool in the mother's lap. The baby dirties the lap of the mother. It is stinking. But for the mother it is fragrance. Oh Lord, actually what I am passing through my mouth is only stool. But because of your vatsalya for me, you consider it to be glories and fragrance. See what a bhava. Chetaso vachasaschapi bhutanam iti nischitaha. It is the Lord who is beyond. Lord and Lord's energies, the mayas, are beyond the thoughts and the words of this world for the living entity. What has been said before, it is true, it is beyond. Aparatarkyad Deva Maya, aparatarkyad, beyond. Chetasaha, beyond mind, beyond words. That is why aparatarkyad anirdeshyat. Anirdeshavapu Shriman, Anirdeshavapuhu. Anirdesha. You cannot say, oh, God is this much, this much. You cannot measure Krishna. Anirdesha vapuhu Sriman. So to say that the Lord, He arranges happiness and distress for the devotees. It is His own sweet will. Nobody can actually explain why is it so. Don't ask why. Okay. Read the purport.
A question may be raised as to why a devotee should refrain from identifying an actor, although he knows definitely that the Lord is the ultimate doer of everything. Knowing the ultimate doer, one should not pose himself as ignorant of the actual performer. To answer his doubt, the reply is that the Lord is also not directly responsible for everything is done by his deputed Maya Shakti or material energies. The material energy is always provoking doubts about the supreme authority of the Lord. The personality of religion knew perfectly well that nothing can take place without the sanction of the Supreme Lord, and still he was put into doubts by the deluding energy, and thus he refrained from mentioning the supreme cause. This doubtfulness was due to the contamination of the both Kali and the material energy. The whole atmosphere of the age of Kali is magnified by the deluding energy, and the proportion of measurement is inexplicable.
Okay. Next.
Guruji, it's mentioned that the personification of religion was another deluding energy of Maya Shakti. How is it like in the earlier?
I did not get you. Read again.
So personality of religion was under the deluding energy of Maya Shakti, like external energy.
Ah.
So earlier it was mentioned that like Parishit Maharaj is mentioning that you are the personification of Dharma. Now here it is mentioned that he is under the cover of Maya, and hence he was not identifying that it's Krishna who is the ultimate cause.
Maya has got two features. One is the material Maya, that is Mahamaya. Other is the... So, Dharma, you should understand that he is representing which Dharma? The material Dharma. So he was bewildered. Being bewildered by Maya, by which you become humble, that is the Vidya aspect of Maya. It is good. Maya also helps you. But who is that person? That will be only revealed by the Yoga Maya potency. And when you come into the shelter of Yoga Maya potency, then you will be more bewildered. But that bewilderment is transcendental, like Yashoda getting bewildered. Okay? In that sense. Explanation, it happens like that. 24th verse. Tavasaujam daya satyam iti pradhat krite krita antrayo bhagnas smaya sangha madeistava. Now, in the Satya Yuga, your legs were four. Four legs were there. What are they? Four portions. Austerity, that is tapaha, saucham, cleanliness, daya, mercy, satyam, truthfulness. Tapas, saucham, daya, satyam. Now what has happened? Three portions have gone. Trayo bhagnaha, smaya, sangha, madaistava. Three portions are broken down. What are the three portions of religion? They are broken down. Religion is broken down by three. They are the aspects of a religion. What are the aspects of religion? Smaya, Sangha, Madais, Tava. Smaya means Ahankar. Sangha means that association, Asat Sangha, that is woman. And Mada means intoxication. Madehi means etc. other sins. So in these forms of sins, what has happened? Three legs were broken. Which three legs were broken? Tapa, Saucham, Daya. These three things were broken. Next verse. Idanim dharmapadaste satyam nidvarayet yatha tam jigriksyatadharmoyam anritene tate kalihi. So dharma, please listen. Now in the age of Kali, only one leg is remaining. What is that one leg? Satya is remaining. As Satya degrades, untruth increases, at the end of Kali, that also gets destroyed. Okay, read the purport.
The principle of religious is not stand on some dogmas or man-made formulas, but they stand on four primary regulative observance, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. The mass of people must be taught to practice these principles from childhood. Austerity means to accept voluntarily things which may not be very comfortable for the body but are conducive for spiritual realization. For example, fasting. Fasting twice or 4 times a month is a sort of austerity which may be voluntarily accepted for spiritual realization only and not for any other purposes, political or otherwise. Fasting which are meant not for self-realization but for some other purpose are condemned in the Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, cleanliness is necessary both for the mind and for the body. Simply, bodily cleanliness may help to some extent, but cleanliness of the mind is necessary and it is effected by glorifying the Supreme Lord. No one can cleanse the accumulated mental dust without glorifying the Supreme Lord. A godless civilization cannot cleanse the mind because it has no idea of God. And for this simple reason, people under such civilization cannot have good qualifications. However, they may be materially equipped. We have to see things by their resultant action. The resultant action of human civilization in the age of Kali is dissatisfaction. So everyone is anxious to get peace of mind. This peace of mind was complete in the Satya age because of the existence of the above mentioned attributes of the human being. Gradually these attributes have diminished in the Treta Yuga to 3/4, in the Dwapar to half, and in the age of Kali to 1/4, which is also gradually diminishing on account of prevailing untruthfulness. By pride, either artificial or real, the resultant action of austerity is spoiled. By too much affection for female association, cleanliness is spoiled. By too much addiction to intoxication, mercy is spoiled. And by too much laying propaganda, truthfulness is spoiled. The revival of Bhagavad Dharma can save human civilization from falling prey to evil of all descriptions.
Now, yeah, there are two versions to it. By intoxication, austerity is spoiled. By intoxication, mercy is also foiled. This intoxication is intoxication of ahankara, mada. Mada has got two meanings. One is pride. Other is ये मदमत हो गया है. Understood? Huh? हाँ, both are there. You can interpret the word mada in two ways. In this verse, in the previous verse, the word is used as maya, pride. Mada. Both. So you can apply both way. So if you take the meaning smaya as pride, mada as pride, then it destroys mercy. Because why you don't show mercy? Because of one who has ahankar tells, hey, who are you? Like that. Only a person who has humility can show mercy. A person who has pride can show no mercy. Got it? Yeah.
Pride destroys austerity.
No, you are not getting the point. Take the word Sanskrit word called mada. Mada means pride. Pride destroys mercy. Understood this point? If you take the word mada as intoxication destroys austerity. Got it? Huh? The way you interpret it. So in both ways it can be understood. Ultimately, pride destroys mercy, intoxicant destroys. So both pride and intoxication are called mada. In whatever way you want to understand. Saucha, association of women, that destroys cleanliness. The word cleanliness is actually shaucha. Shaucha is not actually cleanliness, it is purity. Something may be very clean but may be impure. But something is pure as well as clean. You go to a 5-star hotel, it's very clean, isn't it? But very impure. Very clean plate. Put some piece of non-veg in it. What will happen? It's clean. Just because something is clean doesn't mean it's pure. Purity is something else. So when you ask somebody to do achaman, तो हाथ धो क्या हो? Achaman is not हाथ धोना. You should have already washed your hands. And achaman is for purification. Washing hands is for cleanliness. And achaman is for purity. Got it? Huh? A plastic plate is clean but impure. But a kele ka patta is, though you may have some kind of, you brought somewhere, some dust may be there, but it's pure. You're getting the difference? Okay, 26. Yam cha bhumir bhagavata Nyasitoro bharasita Shri. Now, Iyam cha bhumir bhagavata. Iyam cha bhumihi. This iyam means showing to the cow. Who is that cow? She is Bhumi. Iyam cha bhumir tu bharasati. Fortunately, she is crying because of what? Durbhagye prodijita sati abbrahmanya vipavyaja shudra bhogyanti mamiti. Because the Lord has left her and she starts lamenting, crying. And this Shudra, who is dressed as a Nripa. Nripa Vyajaha. Nripa Vyaja. Nripa Vyaja means one who is actually showing that I am a ruler, I am the king. The Shudra. Bhokshyanti Mam iti. The Shudra, the king, He'll enjoy me. And this nature of Shudra is Abrahmanya, means this Shudra has no respect for the Brahmanas. Again, Brahman. This cow is worried about whom? Brahmanas. The cow is worried about. That is why all the kings, when they want to give charity to the Brahmanas, what did they give charity? Cow. 1,000 cows, 10,000 cows. What did Vasudeva do as soon as he was born? Was Krishna appeared in front of him. Mentally, 10,000 cows he gave. Giving cows in charity. That's the world is meant for. Cows in charity. Abram Nipavyacha. So, read the purport.
The Kshatriya, or the man who is qualified to protect the sufferers, is meant to rule the state. Untrained lower class men or the men without ambition to protect the sufferers cannot be placed on the seat of an administrator. Unfortunately, in the age of Kali, the lower class men without training occupy the post of the ruler by strength of popular votes, and instead of protecting the sufferers, such men create a situation quite intolerable for everyone. Such rulers illegally gratify themselves at the cost of all comforts of the citizen, and thus the chaste Mother Earth cries to see the pitiable condition of her sons, both men and animals. That is the future of the world in the age of Kali, when irreligiosity prevails most predominantly, and in the absence of the suitable king to curb irreligious tendencies. Educating the people systematically in the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam will clear up the hazy atmosphere of the corruption, bribery, and blackmails, etc.
Yes. Shudra Bhukshanti. Next. Iti dharmam mahim chaiva santayitva maharata nishantam adhade gadgam kalayaha dharma hetave. Iti dharmam mahim chaiva shantayitva. Shantvana means what? Console, pacify. Pacify, console, Shantvana. These days people don't know how to pacify things. So Parikshit Maharaj, iti, by speaking such words, Dharmam Mahim Chaiva, both of them, Dharmam Mahim means both the bull and the cow are in the form of, or the personification of Dharma and earth. Shantayitva Maharataha. Yantam adade khadgam. Yantam adade khadgam. He took the sword, which is very sharp. Why? Kalaye adarmahetave. Kalaye, he took the sword to kill Kali, with the cause of irreligion. Corruption everywhere. This is what the king should do to destroy Kali. He took the sword to destroy the Kali. Read the purport. Nice purport.
As described above, the personality of Kali is he who deliberately commits all kinds of sinful acts which are forbidden in the revealed scriptures. This age of Kali will certainly be full of all activities of Kali. But this doesn't mean that the leaders of society, the executive heads, the learned and intelligent men are above all the devotees of the Lord, should sit down tightly and become callous to the reaction of the age of Kali. In the rainy season, certainly there will be profuse rainfalls, but that doesn't mean that men should not take means to protect themselves from the rains. It is the duty of the executive heads of state and others to take all necessary actions against the activities of Kali or the persons influenced by the age of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit is the ideal executive head of the state, for at once he was ready to kill the personality of Kali with his sharp sword. The administrators should not simply pass resolutions for anti-corruptional steps, but they must be ready with sharp swords to kill the persons creating corruptions from the angle of vision of the recognized Shastras. The administrators cannot prevent corrupt activities by allowing wine shops. They must at once close all shops of intoxicating drugs and wine and force punishment even by the death for those who indulge in habits of intoxication of all description. That is the way of stopping the activities of Kali, as exhibited here by Maharaj Parikshit, the Maharatha.
Next. Ah. Read the full line.
And in the absence of a suitable king to curb irreligious tendencies, educating the people systematically in the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam will clear up the hazy atmosphere of corruption, bribery, blackmail, etc.
Because in the age of Kali, what is the dharma? Who gives dharma? Where did dharma take shelter of? Bhagavatam. So take Bhagavatam and teach. Now the word systematically Srila Prabhupada used everywhere. In the Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter, first verse, in the purport itself, systematically. The word systematically is a very important word because everything in this world is very systematic or trying to become systematic. Maya is getting organized very nicely, isn't it? Very nice organization of G20 is happening. So Maya is encouraging. There is a nice system for establishing wine shop. You want to establish wine shop, there is a system for organized. So when a religion gets organized, religion should also get organized. And the most important aspect in organized religion is how organized are you in your teaching. If you're not very organized in your teaching, then people will not accept it because they see there is a better organization there, so which is spreading Maya, so get attracted to that. That is the reason we should have a better management and better organization of others. If you have a university which teaches Bhagavatam in a very nice way, then why they should go to other universities? So systematic education is very much required, and that is what ISKCON is now these days focusing on, or should be focusing on in one sense. Then you'll have intelligent people coming. When they see something systematic, they'll come. If they see something not systematic, haphazard, then who will come? All our acharyas have written books. Acharya, Ramanujacharya, and all Gaudiya acharyas, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, how systematically they presented. Ultimately, Srila Prabhupada. The kind of literatures what we have is a great treasure, and the whole world is hankering for such treasure, and we are not able to present it. Because we ourselves have not learned it systematically. Just imagine, after the age of 20, 22, you take up studies of Krishna consciousness, read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. How much can go, tell me? From the age of 5 itself you start studying. By the age you are 20, 21, what? You just walk, people will just listen to you. Oh, what nice. We are very poor in this area. Though in spite of all our achievements in the sector of education is not even at par. Is not the way it should be. For that, we need to start at the age of 6 and 7 itself. They learn Sanskrit, they know how to chant the verses, they know how to, they know the Vedanta, they know how to present Vedanta, they know how to present Bhagavatam, they know to Chanda Shastra. They can chant the verses very nicely in different ways, like Gadadhar Pandit would do, and by the way Raghunath Bhatta Goswami could chant the verses of Bhagavatam in 3 different ways. Don't you think we require something like that so that we can produce some people like that? You ask any scripture, anytime they just quote and defeat. They can just read the commentaries of the acharyas and speak. We require systematic education.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, recently one committee was formed, Bhagavad Committee by Bureau. So that was meant to help Bhagavatam that is being conducted by different devotees in ISKCON.
Bhagavad Katha Committee.
Yeah.
I am part of it.
So it is found that rather than helping to conduct more and more Bhagavad Katha, it is creating red tapeism in the form of taking permission from so many people and so many protocols. Earlier it was very easy to conduct Bhagavatam, but now it is creating, this situation is happening. Recently one case happened in our temple as well.
I know the case also. I know many cases, why only one case? I'm the center of all the cases actually. When you want to make a jungle into a garden, what you should do? You have to do some chopping, isn't it? There is a jungle, and the jungle has to be a garden. You cut some trees. While cutting some trees which are not very good, not very much good for the garden, or they are overgrown or dried up, on the way you cut few good trees also. Maybe a few branches of the good trees also, isn't it? So this should have been set up before the jungle was formed, and before the jungle was formed, and you can make the garden. You could have made the garden. Now you allowed it to happen for 20 years or 25 years or even 30 years. In India, Bhagavad kind of thing started in maybe the late 80s or early 90s. Now it's already, say, 30 years, 32 years. And what happened? You did not have any systematic thing for them. Then they grew like a jungle. So now you have to make it into a garden. So it's difficult for both. Those who are trying to make the jungle into a garden, and those who are in the jungle, it is difficult for both. They both have complaints. They both have to live with that. Both have to live with it. Because now each one should appreciate, okay, somebody is there to make the jungle into a garden, and appreciate them, those who are trying to make the jungle into a garden, and appreciate that if there is no jungle also, barren land, what garden will make? So these people also should appreciate, isn't it? So it's a process, isn't it? It is nothing like good or bad. Who is good, who is bad, what is right, what is wrong. You have to, in management, you have to see what is the current situation and what you want to achieve, and then cooperate. So each one should cooperate with each other, isn't it? So in the Bhagavad Gita committee, the mood is that nobody should take advantage of the brand name of ISKCON, undue advantage of the brand name of ISKCON. That is the substance. Nobody is saying that they are philosophically wrong. But ISKCON has particular brand, and nobody should take undue advantage of it. Take advantage of it, but not Prabhupada said take advantage of me. The undue advantage means that I represent ISKCON, and then whatever, ultimately all the problem comes with these three things, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, no, 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 na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. So dhana is involved, means paisa is involved. Na dhanam, na janam, jana is also involved. And sundari, fame is also involved. Sundari is also involved. Or some kind of subtle thing, I know a car, involved. So if you are pure, then automatically purity is the force. Nobody is stopping you from, no Bhagavad Gita committee is stopping anybody from doing Bhagavatam. But they are saying that if you want to be recognized speaker of Bhagavatam, as a Bhagavad Kathakar, recognized, then you have to fit into certain norms. Quite genuine, these norms. Of course, the author of the norms is sitting in front of you. That was made to protect some people, but somehow there's deficiency from both the sides. Kali Yuga means deficiency is also there. But you do 5 days, no problem. Nobody is stopping you from 5 days. You do 5 days, after 3 days, I got to do 5 days. No problem. So there are things nobody is stopping you from doing that. Whole purpose is that nobody should take undue advantage of the. Otherwise, it will be totally more unsystematic, become a bigger jungle. Yes.
In this 28th purport, as you are answering my last question, that now Parikshit Maharaj is trying to solve the immediate cause, as you are answering that.
Yeah.
So then the question comes is that all these philosophies about what we are discussing in the before verses are only theoretical, that okay, Krishna is the ultimate cause and don't lament this, that, whatever. Yes. Finally we have to act.
Yes.
And that's what Krishna
That is why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ma manusmara yuddhacha. Act. But how?
Remembering me.
What do you remember? Remembering Krishna means remembering the Krishna consciousness, these things. So you may say theory, but don't just say theory. Don't abscond theory on the name of giving prominence to practicality. That is Karma Mimamsa philosophy. Karma Mimamsa, they say, what you're saying, the same thing they say. The knowledge of Brahman is theory. But what is more important? Practical. So Karma Kanda is more important. Because Vedanta is only theory. So what is more important? Karma is more important. Practical is more important. I'll explain this thing. Their argument is this. Your own section of the Veda called Upanishads, most important of them, Ishavasya Upanishad says, Kurvanneveha karmani jiti visheshatkam sama satam sama. Isn't it? Kurvanneha karmani. And live for 100 years, do karma. That is what Upanishad is telling you. Practical. My dear sir, you chanted the mantra, but there in the mantra, you swallowed one word. Kurvan eva. Eva means according to the previous mantra. What is the previous mantra? Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkinchit jagatyam jagat tena tektena bunjita magridakasya sriddhanam. According to the theory, when you act, you can live for 100 years, otherwise commit suicide now itself. So on the name of theory, don't reject the theory and say practical is more important. Don't feel bad, I'm just telling the connection. So Prabhuji tell something practical. I remember once, many years back, I was just a new devotee. His Holiness Radha Govindas Goswami Maharaj was giving a class in Mira Road. He gave katha. he spoke about some Krishna Katha. After that, generally he doesn't ask any questions, and there's nothing like after Katha, there's no questions. And some people had this habit. After the class, immediately he was about to end and he raised a hand. He was sitting in front only. Then he asked a question to Maharaj. I don't know why he asked this question to Maharaj. He did not find anybody else to ask. Yes. महाराज जी, आपने जो कथा कहा सुनाई है, उस कथा में कुछ प्रैक्टिकल बताइए ना. महाराज कहो 1 घंटा बैठ के सुना कृष्ण कथा, इससे क्या प्रैक्टिकल हो सकता है? You sat for 1 hour and heard Bhagavatam. What do you think there is something more practical than this? So just a commentary on this word practicality. The practical is actually impractical. Theory is the most practical thing.
So another thing is in the purport of this 28 sloka only, towards the end of the purport, the administrators cannot prevent corrupt activities by allowing wine shops. They must at once close all these shops and all. So a few chapters before when we were reading about the queens of Dwarka, so we also read that in Dwarka also the prostitutes were there. So at that time the discussion was happening, and then we came to know that if government doesn't allows all these things, this is like a legal sort of a thing. People have a tendency to do such kind of things. If they don't allow like that, then illegally they will do. They will try to smuggle this and that. So how to see this particular context in that regard?
Very good. So there the word prostitutes are not the prostitutes, the understanding of prostitute. They were actually dancers. They were respected. The word respected came. They were respected prostitutes. It's not the prostitute. Anybody at that time, they are a class of people who give entertainment. They are termed as prostitutes. Well respected, and they would live in the temple. They would do dance from the stage and then give entertainment. And then though at that time only songs were related to Krishna, Rama, and maybe some demigods. So at the same time, another understanding is prostitution, liquor. There was an area designated. They would not come out of that area, and it was very difficult. To go there means very difficulty. So it was a part of the society, but not in the society. The same way, there were liquor for the particular class of men who would indulge in, but the present is that the government has legalized it. Now I heard about the Delhi government had a plan to sell liquor in the kirana shops also. And that is why that person is in jail now. The minister, he got caught in a liquor scam. So many scams, liquor scam. Got caught. So, now, mobile, smartphone should be used. But it is freely available even for small children. They lose their eyesight, they lose their mind, they lose their intelligence. That is the problem. It should be sparingly used by some people. That is a requirement for them. In the same way, everything in the liquor also. That's also having a position there. But here the position is that it is freely available. That's a problem. Okay. Next. $29. Tam jigasum avipretya vihaya nipalanchanam tatpadamulam shirasa samagad bhayavihvalaha. Now Kali saw. The king has lived this sword and is about to kill him. When Kali saw the power of Parikshit and what did he do? He gave up. He thought, I should not fight now. It's not possible fight. Now he's wearing the dress of a king. King, when other king comes and asks for a fight, he should fight. And now he understood, I cannot fight. What did he do? Gave up the cloth of a king. That is why Vihaya and Ripalanchanam. Vihaya means gave up. Gave what? Ripalanchanam, the cloth of a king. He gave it up. Then what did he do? Before he surrendered, he gave the cloth of the king and then Tat Padamulam Shirasa. His head, he fell at the feet of Parikshit. Samagad Bhaya Vivvala. Completely surrendered to him. How? Bhaya Vivvala. Bhaya Vivvala means being completely shuttered by Bhaya. Great fear, bowed down. Next. Paditam Padayor Viraha Kripaya Dinavatsalah No Navadachotya Aha Chedam Hasanniva. Maharaj Parikshit. Paditam Padayor Viraha Kripaya Dinavatsalah. Then Parikshit thought, he has surrendered. How can I kill a person who is surrendered? If I kill a person who is surrendered, even though if he is evil, if I kill a surrendered, then it is not religious principle. So it is not good. If I kill Kali, Kali will enter me because he surrendered now. So in this way, he started smiling and he spoke. Sharano na avadit shokya aha che cha idam hasan niva. He smiled and then spoke. Read the purport.
Even an ordinary Kshatriya does not kill a surrendered person. And what to speak of Maharaj Parikshit, who was by nature compassionate and kind to the poor. He was smiling because the artificially dressed Kali had disclosed his identity as a lower class man. And he was thinking how ironic it was that although no one was saved from his sharp sword when he desired to kill, the poor lower class Kali was spared by his timely surrender. Maharaj Parikshit's glory and kindness are therefore sung in history. He was a kind and compassionate emperor, fully worthy of accepting surrender even from his enemy. Thus the personality of Kali was saved by the will of providence.
Okay. Next. What did Parikshit Maharaj tell? Paditam Padayor. Okay, we're done. Paditam Padayo Vira Kripaya Dina Vatsala Taranyo Navadichoka Aham Chedam Hasanva. He spoke. What did he speak? Rajovacha. Nate Gudakesha Yesho Dharmam Nate Gudakesha Yesho Dharanam Vadanjalir Vai Bhayamasti Kinche Navartivyam Bhavata Katanchana Kshetre Madiyetam Adharma Bandhu. He said, my dear Vadanjalir Vai Bhayamasti Kinchit, you have folded your hand in front of the sustainer of glory of Arjuna, Gudakesha. Nate Gudakesha Yesho Dharanam. I am carrying the glory of Gudakesha, that is Arjuna. So you have folded your hands in front of me. Vai bhayam asti kinchit. There is no question of any fear for you. Na vartitavyam bhavata katanchana. You should not have any fear, but you. Kshetre madiye tvam adharma bandhu. You are the friend of adharma bandhu, a friend of religion. Bhavatah kachanchana vartitavyam. Na vartitavyam. Don't stay in my kingdom. Get out. I am not going to kill you, but you cannot stay in my kingdom. Because you are adharma bandhu. Read the purport.
The personality of Kali, who is the friend of all kinds of irreligiosities, may be excused if he surrenders, but in all circumstances he cannot be allowed to live as a citizen in any part of a welfare state. The Pandavas were interested representatives of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, who practically brought into being the battle of Kurukshetra, but not for any personal interest. He wanted an ideal king like Maharaj Yudhishthir and his descendants like Maharaj Parikshit to rule the world. And therefore, a responsible king like Maharaj Parikshit could not allow the friend of irreligiosity to flourish in his kingdom at the cost of the good fame of the Pandavas. That is the way of wiping out corruption in the state, and not otherwise. The friends of irreligiosity should be banished from the state, and that will save the state from corruption.
So that is a way of wiping out corruption in a state, that is, get lost, you should say, to those people who are get out. Corruption. So the further verses are there. The conversation between Parikshit and 45. How many verses? 13 more verses. We'll do tomorrow. It's already time now. We'll meet tomorrow and then go to the next chapter also. Tomorrow we'll finish. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.